For a long time, we've been told how bad table sugar is. And thanks to countless research studies over the past few decades, we know eating too much sugar can lead to many health problems, including type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, and obesity. But what if there was a carbohydrate that was far worse than table sugar and even potentially more dangerous? Today on Good Cup of Health, we will explore this carbohydrate that some experts warn is more toxic to our bodies than table sugar. According to the world-renowned Dr. Berg and experts like Carter Trent from A Voice for Choice Advocacy, this carb beats out table sugar on the glycemic index. Now, what is the glycemic index? The glycemic index is a ranking system that determines how quickly food can raise blood sugar after eating. The scale runs from 0 to 100. Anything closer to 0 means that food is digested slowly, creating a gradual rise in blood sugar. Foods higher on the glycemic index usually cause fast spikes in blood sugar. For example, it's not surprising that many processed foods and sugary beverages tend to be higher on the glycemic index. But I digress. Let's get back to the main topic. Regular table sugar has a glycemic index of 65. And Dr. Berg mentions that it's not high, but it's not the best either. Glucose, another type of sugar, has a glycemic index of 100. The carb that's considered dangerous, with references stating a glycemic index between 105 and 136, is known as maltodextrin. Maltodextrin is a powdered substance heavily processed from either corn, potato starch, rice, or wheat, and has no nutritional value. However, it is often used as an additive in a variety of processed foods. It is not considered a sugar and can be used in products labeled as sugar-free. Experts like Carter Trent note that fruit like watermelon is high on the glycemic index at 75, but its glycemic load is 6, which is low, meaning that per serving, watermelon's impact on your blood sugar may not be as intense. However, with a glycemic index of 105 to 136 and a glycemic load of 94, which is very high, maltodextrin should be consumed with caution. And the problem with maltodextrin is that it can be found in many products and under different names. As Dr. Berg pointed out, it's often marketed as a healthier alternative to sugar. This is alluring to the health-conscious and athletes alike, not knowing it could be harming their health. With a glycemic index ranging from 115 to 136, this substance quickly spikes your blood sugar and insulin levels. When your blood sugar and insulin levels spike too frequently over years or decades, it puts you at risk for insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes, according to experts from the American Diabetes Association. Experts from Healthline.com referenced research studies that showed mixed results on maltodextrin's impact on gut health. But they do recommend avoiding or limiting exposure to it if you're insulin resistant or have diabetes, both type 1 and type 2. They also recommend limiting or avoiding it if you're trying to lose weight. If you have intestinal tract issues, you may also want to limit exposure to maltodextrin, as it may exacerbate conditions like irritable bowel disease or IBD. Consuming large amounts of maltodextrin can cause gas and diarrhea. Some people may also experience cramping. In rare cases, allergic reactions like skin irritation can occur. A couple of years ago, a vegetables green powder I used to take had maltodextrin. During that time, I noticed that I was gaining weight, or the weight was struggling to come off. I can't remember why I stopped taking it, but once I stopped, I noticed that my weight started coming off. Maybe it was coincidental, but it was something that always stuck with me. The Food and Drug Administration, or FDA for short, listed maltodextrin under the generally recognized as safe, or GRAS classification, meaning that it is considered okay to consume in small amounts. Key words here are small amounts. The problem is that this substance can be found in many sugar-free products or low-calorie sweeteners, or as an additive in some processed foods. It can be found in energy bars, green powders, protein powders, sports drinks, and low-sugar or sugar-free products. If you eat a lot of processed foods, even ones considered healthy, you could be consuming high amounts of maltodextrin without knowing it, because unlike sugar, its quantifiable amount does not need to be listed. Can we avoid maltodextrin? We can for the most part, but with due diligence. It will require us to scrutinize nutrition labels and be more mindful of what foods we eat and drinks we consume. When you look at the nutrition facts, go to the bottom and look for the ingredients section. That's where maltodextrin is listed. Generally, the further down the list an ingredient, the smaller the amount it has. This helps the consumer understand the relative amounts of each ingredient in a product. We should aim to consume whole foods most of the time, as this minimizes exposure to maltodextrin and its derivatives. If you found the information in this video helpful, consider sharing it with your family and friends so they can learn more about the dangers of maltodextrin. Maltodextrin could have a negative impact on your brain. Check out this video to see the best foods for brain health. Until next time, thank you for watching.